Hello and welcome to this tutorial in After Effects. I'm Luisa Winters. Today I would love to continue talking about keyframing in After Effects. Let's get to it. Last time we left this that the animation went from point A to point B, and if you click on the layer, you're actually going to see the path. Today I would like to talk about that a tiny little bit more. We also saw last time that if you position the playhead right on top of the keyframe, you can adjust that keyframe. But this is the thing. If I position the playhead in a place that is not on top of a keyframe and I change the value, say move the clip up because this is position, then what I'm doing is that I'm creating a third keyframe. I'm creating an additional keyframe that maybe I did not intend to create. So what to do? Well, we need to ensure that our playhead is on top of the keyframe. Let me go ahead and undo this. This is Command Z on the Mac, which is Control Z on Windows. If I want to ensure that my playhead is on top of the keyframe, I can either scrub the timeline, in other words, click and drag on the playhead and then press and hold Shift, and my playhead will snap to the keyframe. Or I could use shortcuts that will navigate my playhead between the visible keyframes. So I could have keyframes that are invisible, that they are not showing. But if they are showing, then these keyboard shortcuts work. K will take my playhead to the next keyframe, and J will take my playhead to the previous keyframe. So K, J, K, J. And this ensures that my playhead is on top of that specific keyframe and not just one frame before or one frame after. The other thing that I can do is that I can use the keyframe navigator. I don't know if you could see it here on the left of the word position, and there are these arrows. I can click on the navigate to next or navigate to previous keyframe. Those are the little triangle-y thingies. Or to delete or add a keyframe, I could click on the diamond-shaped icon in the middle. So the first thing that I want to make sure that we understand is that to change the value of a keyframe, in other words, to modify a keyframe, your playhead should be on top of that keyframe. However, it's not the only way that you have to modify the keyframe. This way is a little bit harder, but it's possible. I could double-click the keyframe. In this case, I double-clicked the first keyframe, and my playhead is not on top of the first keyframe. So I can change this value simply by clicking and dragging. That's scrubbing the value, or by typing the value that I want to give it. I find this a little bit harder, but it's certainly possible. I'm going to cancel out of this. Alrighty, the next thing that I want to talk about is this. If we zoom in the composition panel, like a lot, you will see that the path, so the clip is going from point A to point B, and it's connected by a path. It's pretty much telling us the road that the clip is going to take to go from point A to point B. So we see that this path is made out of dots. Those dots represent frames, but I prefer to call them moments in time. Look what happens to those dots when I move the keyframes closer together. In other words, when I go from point A to point B faster. Notice that the dots are farther apart. That's kind of important, right? So farther apart dots represent faster speed. Closer together dots represent slower speed. Let me go ahead and zoom out and play the animation so that you can see it's going considerably faster. Don't forget that you can zoom in and out of the timeline simply by pressing the plus and the minus keys on your main keyboard. Alrighty, this takes us to the end of this tutorial. Don't forget to hit like, don't forget to hit subscribe. Thank you for watching and see you next time.